and welcome to Nana Yoga. My name is Nanako and welcome back to the 7-day beginners yoga challenge. This is a really nice gentle week of yoga, only 7 days with 6 poses, and then on the 7th day we have all of these yummy poses put together to have a nice yoga class for you. Usually if you're a beginner, I remember when I started yoga like more than 10 years ago, once a week was just wonderful. It was the best thing I could do for myself. So I hope that this also eases you into a weekly, if not more, yoga practice. If you haven't practiced for ages, you can do this. If you are a complete beginner, this is also for you, so you can gain more confidence to do this at home and hopefully to get to a real yoga lesson and support the yoga community. So let's get started. So today's class, I'm actually kind of cheating. It's actually this pose, so easy pose. So there's many ways you can do this, and well, I actually have really stiff hips because I kind of have had an injury, so I've kind of not really been pushing the big hip opener poses, which if you've done yoga before, you will maybe have experienced before. So what you can do is use a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can always use a really big book, which might be a bit stiff, or just pillows or cushions. So that's perfectly fine. And essentially, easy pose is just, you sit down and then you bring your foot in. I mean, you've done this as a kid, and you bring it in like this. And then if your hips are kind of coming up, that's not a problem. Eventually, as you keep going with this pose, especially, you will kind of start to see, I had a lady, she's only come 2 or 3 times to my yoga classes, like over a space of a month or 2. And she even noticed that actually she could bring, well, one was higher up, but one was a little bit lower. So eventually your body does get used to the movement, because if much like many people, either if you're doing a laboring job, you'll be using your body and the strength of it. And then if you are just on your desk all day and sitting down, your hips will become really stiff. We're meant to be standing up all day, not sat all day. That's how we were engineered as humans. But modern times. So if you do use a yoga block, you can use it all under your bum. And what it does is it just brings your bum a little bit higher, and then brings your knees down a little bit further. So I actually much prefer to sit like this. It's a lot more comfortable if you need to sit like this for a long time. If you do meditation, for example, if you'd like to start meditation, I would begin like this. Don't start being super uncomfortable, because then you'll never do it again. What you can do is double up and have another block. So here's my 2 other blocks. Because if you're still kind of a complete beginner, and depending on your flexibility, you might want to just be higher up, and then if your knees are like there, then that's fine. These blocks are quite big. And then another thing you can do if you ever go to yoga studio, you've invested in a few yoga blocks, is have one underneath your bum, and if your knees are higher up, you can always bring them here just to kind of support your body, which is great. So let me tell you the benefits of Sukhasana, easy pose. Okay, so the benefits of Sukhasana, easy pose, is that it helps to stretch your spinal cord. It also helps to broaden the chest and the collarbones, obviously if you've got your shoulders down and you're relaxed. It's also a really good pose to gain a little more flexibility in your ankles, in your knee and the hips. And it's also a really great pose to feel more mentally and physically more balanced. You're sat down, you're very grounded to the earth, even if you're in a big building. It's also a really great pose to help you with fatigue and tiredness. And finally, it can really help to stretch the back and neck. So here are the benefits, and I showed you how to essentially modify it so it fits for you, and that's about it for today. So if you ever try this pose again, just modify it to how you need to. Don't be embarrassed. It doesn't matter what you need to do that works for your body. You need to take care of you, because you know yourself the best. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope to see you for tomorrow, day 3 of the beginners yoga challenge. And if you would like more information about that, it's in a link below. So 7 days of beginner yoga, 6 days of poses, and the 7th day is a whole yoga lesson. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below, and see you for day 3.